So today is Thursday, December 15th, 2022. I don't think I need to put the year in, but just in case. Anyways, it is the release day of the first part of Sonic Prime. And holy crap, I heard, through the grapevine that it was pretty good, but I didn't know it was this good. It's different, but at the same time it's the same, because usually all the Sonic shows branch out completely different from like anything from the comics or usually the Sonic shows branch out completely different from like the games and the comics, whereas the game and comic Sonic are pretty much the same, even though they have different stories and different friends. The Sonic's personality is completely different. He's got like different friends. Even Eggman's like completely different. Sometimes he's Robotnik, or sometimes he's not even. Sometimes he's menacing. Like for Sad AM or Underground, he's like so menacing. And then in stuff like Sonic Boom, he's basically a frenemy. Anyways, yeah, but this show is, well, it's pretty much everything is based off of the game. Like the character designs are pretty much 1-to-1 from the game, and then like the way Sonic fights, the way everyone fights, they fight like they would in the Sonic game, except Sonic's a lot more athletic. Especially in stuff like Forces, you don't really see Sonic fight much, but like in Forces was the last time we saw him fight, and he was, but I like how he fights here. It's like in other shows, he just runs at stuff and he spin dashes, and then if it doesn't work, he does it again, or he just runs away and then hits it harder and then it works. But here, he has strategy. He fights. He has agility. He dodges blows. He figures stuff out. It feels like he's actually quick witted. Sure, he's still a bit of a dunce. As he do be. But he's still quick witted in like battle when the time counts, which is Sonic. And then, yeah, the character interactions are pretty great. I like how Sonic interacts with his friends, and it's really good how his banter with Eggman, him being like, I want to find anyone, Tails, Amy, heck, I'd even take Knuckles at this point. Like his relationship with everyone. I like how, he's reckless. He's clearly got the same faults as his, video game counterpart. Except this guy seems a lot more, a lot less perfect, which I like that. A lot of shows and games paint him as like the perfect hero. He's unfallable. He always wins, which, he does win all the time, but he's definitely fallable. He's not perfect. And so a lot of games miss that and are like, yep, he's the hero. He is the hero. That's his entire personality. That is who he is. He's the hero. And he cracks jokes, and that's it. But here, he's fallable. He's reckless. He rushes into danger, and that costs him. In fact, that pretty much a good chunk of the episode is him getting in trouble because he's so reckless. And, it's pretty good. And then it starts off the same way as the Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric in the Sonic movie did, with, showing what's happening in the present, and then but here's how we got here a little while ago. And it's really cool. And this episode has kept me pretty entertained so far. There's a lot of fighting, and I like that, which is probably why the animation is a lot like this, which I like. I love the fights. In fact, everything about this show is pretty good. I mean, my only real complaint so far is that, all the mechs look the same. Like, we saw like 3 or 4, actually, now I think about it. No, just 3. 3 different Eggman mechs, 2 from the flashback. One was a decoy, and one was Eggman's actual mech, and then one was the baby mech, and they all pretty much look the same. And I'm kind of a little bit disappointed about that, but, everything else, well, because because in the games, Eggman mechs are all so different. Like they can range from everything's so diversified and different. Like all his mechs are completely distinguishable from each other, and he doesn't really have two similar designs, and I love that. But here they're like they're all pretty much the same design, even the alternate dimension. And then yeah, Sonic fights Nine, which I think is pretty cool because it's not even him fighting Nine. Because he doesn't want to hurt Tails. It's just him running, which is pretty cool. Because he wouldn't fight Tails. Of course he wouldn't. I like that. I like how when he gets lost and abandoned from his friends, he gets, he's got a personality. He cracks so many jokes. I like how this show seems to keep in mind the fact that he's like a teenager, Like in games like even the most recent one that came out a month ago, Sonic Frontiers, if you told someone he was in between 20 and 30, it would seem a lot more believable than that he was a teenager. Well, that could be partially because of his voice, which I do like. But here, I like how more childish it is, I guess. Ish. Anyways, yeah, so far this show's a good, crisp, clean 9.5 out of 10. Because another complaint I have, and this is purely me just being upset and me coping, but episode 1 was action-packed. It was filled to the brim, but I thought there was going to be a Sonic versus Shadow segment, and this episode ended with Shadow coming in, landing the first blow on Sonic, and then it cuts off and ends. And I'm still molding over that, because now I have to watch it. Now I'm going to start, episode 2, and, I'm going to watch it, the Sonic and Shadow fight, and I'm going to finish the episode instead of, talking to my friends. But good thing I turned on Do Not Disturb on Discord as well as a status that says currently watching Sonic Prime, so they know what I'm doing. But anyways, yeah, no, I guess this is I'm nitpicking at this point, but pretty much all of these complaints are nitpicking actually. But anyways, the Paradox Prism is pretty much the Phantom Ruby. I mean, so far. Like, this would be a really cool and original idea, but it kind of brings it back that Forces did something sort of similar with the Phantom Ruby. Well, okay, now I think about it, not really. Because the Phantom Ruby just brought back past enemies and weapons sometimes, or an entire star. But yeah, no, this is the new Sonic show. If I were to rank it amongst the other Sonic shows, Adventures of Sonic is my least favorite one. And Sonic Boom, as a comedy is incredible, but as an actual Sonic show, it's I think the best one so far is Sad AM or X. As good as Underground in its intro was, I think Sad AM and X were. I would place it, it's probably the second best Sonic show. Out of what? Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, Sad AM, Underground, Sonic X, and Sonic Boom. Jeez, there's been 5 TV shows, and this is the 6th. So, second place out of 6 ain't I'm only one episode in. It could probably get better. It could probably take first. But I like how much they didn't have to change for this one, because it took 6 shows, but we finally got Game Sonic in a show, and that's pretty much what he is, And most of his attacks are spin attacks, which is common, which has always pretty much been the case. But I like that. He does seem to have his in-game moveset. He pulled off a tornado. He definitely pulled off a spin dash. He got the peel out. Pretty sure there was a homing attack in there. Yeah, no, even the flashback, Nine's flashback of getting beat up was a scene shown in the beginning of Sonic 2 and Sonic Origins this year. God, this year has been so good to be a Sonic fan, man. It's been incredible. It's been a good year for gaming in general. but especially for Sonic fans, the only the only time I'd say we really slipped up was losing to Genshin Impact in the Game Awards. I'm getting off topic. I don't want to start ranting about that. But anyways, Sonic Prime. It is pretty much Sonic in his prime. Yeah. And this would have been, if this came out like say 2-3 years ago, this would have been so much more monumental too, because this came in a year when Sonic was ironically in his prime. Like, this is the best year Sonic has had probably ever, because we've gotten a movie, a show, a classic Sonic game, a modern Sonic game, and a celebration comic. The 50th IDW one, and every single one of them, at the very least, have been good. Some were a bit disappointing, I guess. Some had a bit of a build-up that was disappointing to some people, but at the very least, you can't deny that it was good. And at best, they've been incredible, groundbreaking, revolutionary. They've been awesome. Unfortunately, he got screwed over at the Game Awards, but anyways, I'm getting off topic again. It has been 11 minutes, and this is probably for a privated video on YouTube, most likely, because I can't keep this on my phone. This winter break's about to start, and that's going to desecrate my storage. But yeah, first episode review, 9.5 out of 10. I really like it that it's Game Sonic. I think I like that. And I like that he's followable. He feels like a teenager. The way he acts is believable. He's got personality. He's got confidence. He's reckless, but he's not so jokey. That's stupid. Like, no one would like beat up their friend and be like, you remind me of Metal Sonic. Like, no one. That's just stupid. But yeah, 9.5 out of 10. Really good episode, and way longer than the other episodes. But anyways, I'm gonna start episode 2, which I really hope starts off with Sonic vs. Shadow, because I can't believe I like cucked out of Sonic vs. Shadow in the end of episode 1. That is probably the only thing keeping it from a 10 out of 10, is the fact that they didn't make it like 45 minutes so I could get the Sonic vs. Shadow fight. But anyways, yeah, good show, good year, good job, Sonic. You've done great. You're in your prime.